Hi guys, Aceface back with another video for you, and today I'm going to do a channel update. I'm going to do some competition entries, some shout outs, and I'm going to do a comment bomb at the end. So please do get involved in the comment bomb. I know all the channels that I've done previously really do appreciate it, and it's a lot of fun, so get involved in that comment bomb. Right, okay, so let's start off with some shout outs and some competition entries. So, okay, so let's start off with a good friend of mine called John Macleod. He has just reached his 100 subs landmark, so really well done, John. It's a great channel, it's John's channel. He is quite sporadic in his content. He's had a bit of a tough time. So hence the reason why his channel's not really sort of moving as quickly as it should do, because the content's really solid and really good. He's a really supportive guy in the community. He's quite under the radar and does a lot behind the scenes, but he's helped a lot of channels out, and he is a really top guy. So yeah, I really can't say enough good things about John. Met him a couple of times now. Had a really good fun game with him at Warhammer Mania. He's just really sort of started to get into 40k, but in a short period of time he's actually really picked it up well. After playing the game, I can definitely say that, you know, he's on the right tracks to being a really solid competitive player, which is great to see. But an enjoyable guy to play. He does play Eldar, and you know, but nobody's perfect. But yeah, so I'm going to go over how I'm going to enter his competition when I go onto my desk a little bit later. So that's John. Secondly, let's talk a little bit about Martin McNeil and Wargames. So Martin McNeil has just hit his 1,000 subscribers mark, which is awesome. I know that actually Martin wanted to reach that point earlier. If you know Martin, he's extremely ambitious. Really wants to deliver a lot. He's a real I think inspiration to a lot of people, because I think he's an example of somebody that is determined to get somewhere and will push anything out of the way to get there, which I think we all need at times, because it's not always the easiest to achieve what we want to in life, but you know, it just, I think, is an example of if you really want something enough and you're dedicated, you can get there. So really top lad, and really well done, Martin, for hitting your 1,000 subs. You've done extremely well to get there so quickly. It is a really good channel, and I know that the content is going to get better and better over the coming year. So exciting times over at Wargames. And obviously, if you don't know, Martin is going to be opening a wargaming shop, so hopefully by the end of the year. But I know he's having some trouble with certain bits and pieces, but I know if I know Martin, it'll be up and running as soon as he possibly can. So you know, so let's talk about Martin's competition. So Martin's competition is a really poignant competition. It's about where is the love in wargaming at the moment, and I will, as I said in the beginning, there'll be a link to the video that spawns this this competition down below. But I think really poignant, great competition, because what Martin's addressing is the fact that at the moment there is a little bit of negativity and, dare I say it, hate in the community. And it all comes from the fact that we all have different interests in the hobby, we all have different focuses, different loves. There's things we like, things we don't like, and that's normal, and that's very human. But what we have a tendency to do is is necessarily what we don't like. Sometimes we can knock. Sometimes we do it jokingly. Sometimes we do it quite sort of nerd raging, let's say. But altogether, it's actually really not helpful. And I'm going to put my hand up and say, not to the extreme, because I would never ever disrespect or say anything derogatory to anybody. But I'll be quite honest with you. I've been vocal in my kind of dislike for certain systems, and that's negative. That's not helpful to the people that love those systems, because whether I like them or not, whether I don't like the miniatures or I don't like the game system, somebody else really loves that game system, and they've put their heart and soul and a lot of their money into that system. So who am I to sit here on my Iron Throne and tell them that their system is inferior to the one that I play or the one that I collect? That's not right. And generally when I do it tongue-in-cheek, I do it quite sarky, but sort of, I think my commitment and my entry to Martin's competition, whether this class is an entry, you might disqualify me, Martin. If you do, I can deal with it. But I think my entry to this competition is that I'm going to now turn over a new leaf with that. You will not see any of that knocking of other systems. I mean, I don't do it a lot, to be fair, but people that kind of follow me maybe more on Facebook and sort of through the different community channels that I'm on know that I do have a bit of a pop and a bit of a knock. If you see me in live hangouts, I do it quite a lot, and I'm not going to do that anymore. So, you know, I'm going to be a lot more supportive of those other game systems and those other games and model ranges, and that's going to be my commitment, and that's my entry to this competition. That's Aceface's commitment to you, Martin, and to everybody. So yeah, you won't see any more of that knocking or sarcasm on this channel. I'll carry on with my knocking of armies and cheese within 40k, because that's kind of my place, I suppose, and I love the game, so that's why I do it, and I'll continue with that. But you'll see no more sarcasm or knocking of other systems. So that's my entry. But great competition, great calls, Martin, and actually I'm really with you on this. It's we need to kind of open our doors and be more supportive of everybody, because it's a great community, and let's share the love and bring that back, because I have a feeling that we've gone backwards a little bit, this community, over the last sort of 6 months. It'd be good to pull it back, you know. Let's get behind each other, let's support, let's not nerd rage about, you know, companies and games. If we don't like them, let's not play them, but let's not knock other people, let's not knock other companies. Let's kind of be positive. Let's go with that. Cool. Okay, so that's that. What else do I want to talk to as far as I'm concerned? So I hope you've been enjoying my last videos. So I did my first Q&A the other day. That was really enjoyable to do. Thank you everybody that's watched that video. It's a long video. It's one of the, if not the longest video that I've ever put out. So I'm thrilled to bits that I've got quite a few views on it, because it means that you guys are watching it, or if not watching it, stumble upon it and then go, Christ, this is long, and then coming out of it. But thank you very much for watching it and taking the time. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you want me to do more of those, I'm really keen to, but what I won't do is I'm not going to string along Q&As. I'm not going to just do a Q&A because I want to do one. I'm going to do one because you want to do one. So if there are more questions that you've got, I think I've got sort of after that video, I maybe got 2 or 3, maybe 4 questions. Not enough to do another one. I'm not in a hurry to do another one, but if you do want me to, and there are questions you need to ask me, you can kind of drop them in this video, or you can go back on my last Q&A, you can put it on there. I'll try and trawl around if I do decide to do another one and get the questions from wherever. So by all means, drop them down. If you've got a question, put it down below, and I will, if I get enough, I'll do another one. Also, I did my first list building video, my list analysis video. I thoroughly enjoyed doing that. I would say that's probably where I'm an expert in. That's probably my specialised subject. So I really enjoyed doing it. I'm loving looking at your army lists and analysing them. It's quite a long process. It's quite hard work. It's probably more hard work than I thought it would be, but I am passionate about it. And if it's something that you enjoy, again, let me know. If you don't enjoy it, then again, let me know, because ultimately the content I put out I enjoy it, but I want to give something back to the community. That's always what I wanted to do from the beginning. So let me know what you think about that, because we're on a journey in this channel, and I want to improve content, I want to get better quality, and I want to get something that you enjoy. So feedback to me, let me know what's going on. So thanks for that. So that's that. Right, I want to talk about what I want to do in the next sort of 6 months to a year. So as you know, I'm a competition player. 40k, I love it. It's one of the things that I enjoy the most. I try and get to as many competitions as I can. I have a young family, I have work commitments, so it's not easy to go to everything, and sometimes the competitions can be a bit sporadic and few and far between at times, but when I can, that's what I like to do a lot. So I've been sort of researching and trying to get involved in more competitive competitions, trying to raise my standard even more. I've been very successful in the competitions that I've entered, but I want to kind of raise my game and see how far I can push my, I don't know, my ability to play 40k, if that's a thing, because it's rolling dice at the end of the day and it's luck. But let's see sort of how far I can push it. So I did mention it briefly in my Q&A, but I've been looking quite heavily at the Las Vegas Open. So if you disagree or you've got other ideas of other things, then let me know, because I'm still learning. But as far as I'm aware and the kind of the research I've done, it's one of the biggest tournaments sort of worldwide, may I say. It's a huge competition, and from all the sounds of things from Frontline Gaming, it's going to be even bigger this year. That's ITC Competition, so it's part of the circuit, if you like, particularly in the US, and it's kind of the end tournament, I suppose. Still learning about it, so correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems sort of a really big event, and something that I'd love to be involved in, because it's a way of properly challenging myself at what is probably the highest level. So why am I talking to you about this? Well, as you could probably tell from my accent and what you know, I'm from the UK, and the Las Vegas Open, funny enough, is in Las Vegas in the US. So you can probably see where I'm going with this. It's quite a big thing for me to get over to the US, and even though you've seen on my desks, I'm fortunate enough to be able to buy lots of expensive resin. We all have limits, and with a young family, it's a huge thing to potentially make the commitment to go to the US and to book up for a few days in Las Vegas to play with some plastic toys, and something that probably not a lot of people would do or take that commitment. But I'd really like to do it, just to say I've done it and to try and test myself to that fullest extent. So I'm trying to work out how I can do it. And that's not easy, because it's incredibly expensive, and I wanted to hear your feedback on this, because I'm not sure whether I can afford it on my own. So I wonder whether there is any support out there. So, you know, it's hard, because I don't like asking for things, but is it something that, you know, if I documented the whole journey, did it in-depth videos on to show you what it's all about, you know, really go do interviews, everything, is it something that you guys would be interested enough to support me on this journey? Is it something that, you know, I should do like a Patreon thing? I don't even really understand it, or, you know, some sort of Kickstarter-y type thing, or I don't really know. Or what I would love is to get some sort of sponsorship. So if there is something like that, you know, I'd be more than happy to do that. Some way that I can sort of help me fund this, this kind of dream, and it is quite selfish, and I'm not going to try and pretend it's quite selfish, but I'm hoping that if I do it well, I can actually give something back to you guys and kind of show you the journey, and it'd be an enjoyable set of videos that you're going to kind of like to watch, like to come with me on that journey. I've booked up a lot of sort of competitive competitions leading up to what potentially will be the Las Vegas Open. So again, I'd document that. I'd show you how my list changes, how I adapt and progress on that journey. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I might do nothing at all, but I really like to hear from you guys. And if you haven't got an answer for that, maybe you don't necessarily want or feel that you can financially support this crazy idea of mine, maybe you know somebody that might, or somebody that you know that could help me. If you do know somebody and you think that maybe financially you could support this crazy idea, then I'd love to hear from you. Ultimately, if there isn't any interest, then there isn't any interest. I've got broad shoulders, I can deal with that. And ultimately, you know, maybe I can make this dream happen on my own. Maybe I can't. That's kind of where I am with it. So I kind of waffled on that enough, but I'd love to hear what you guys have got to say about that. Right, okay, so I think you've probably looked at my ugly mug long enough. Let's have a little look at what's on my desk and what I'm working on at the moment. Okay guys, right, so let's take my iPad out of the way and let's have a look at what we've got. So first of all, let's just go with a little bit of towel update. I'll probably do another proper towel update in another video, but let's show you this guy. So when I was at Battle Brothers not that long ago, I made some Forge World towel purchases. I was always saying that my towel army would be small, but it's growing quite quickly. But so I bought myself a Barracuda. This is my work in progress of it so far. Actually really love the model, really fun model to paint. It's taken longer than I thought it would, so I've got a lot to do on it. It's a nice little, I love the rules of it, it's a nice little flyer, it's really cool. It's got a little cockpit bit, it's got a couple of little cabs which is quite cool. It's got one that's empty and it's got one with the little guy in, slots in, so it's an enjoyable hobby type model to make. Had a real struggle with it. It's one of them ones that I washed it for a long time, but still obviously not washed it thoroughly enough to take all the release off, and I've had a bit of flaky paint syndrome on it, which is frustrating, so I had to do some repairs, but I've decided I'm going to persevere with it. I painted it this much, I like the way it looks, so I'm not gonna go in and redo it again, but I'm enjoying painting it. And one of the main reasons why I got it was I purchased the Tiger Shark, the big super heavy, because I love it and I thought I'd have a super heavy for my towel, so this is great practice for what I'm going to do with that. So that's kind of there. I've finished the base for it. I've got an acrylic rod because I didn't like the normal stem on it, so I've gone for an acrylic rod, and I've done my normal wreckage. I've got like an Orc Dackerjet pieces on there flown up, so yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. Loving that. So that's that. What else have I been doing? So I've been working on this guy. Now those of you who know, I did have a 1,000 Suns sort of half pre-heresy, half chaos army a while ago, and I sold it. And one of those things that you do, trying to make space, it kind of helped me to justify having my Tau army. I kind of almost regret it, because I did love them. I kind of felt like I loved playing them, but I did enjoy it. I love Thousand Suns. If you know me, you know that's the case. But I've kind of been kind of almost wanting to get back into them, and I made this guy out of bits from my bits box. So let's have a little look at him. Just threw him together. I was recently watching some of the Elstonation's videos. I probably pronounced that wrong. I'm still terrible with pronouncing video names, but I'll put a link down for his channel below. And he's doing like a pre-heresy Thousand Suns. He's been doing it for a while, but sort of watching his videos kind of went, oh, I want my Thousand Suns back. So I kind of went into my bits box and chucked this guy together with a few sort of pre-heresy bits and stuff, and used very similar, I think, technique to what he's used on his. I think he uses Tamiya clear coat over sort of silver and different metallics. I've used the Minotaur ghost tints to pretty much replicate the same sort of style, so it gives you this kind of almost like metallic-y red. I don't know whether it's 100% accurate, but I like it. It's still very much work in progress, this guy, because I've kind of just, I had to put him together and I had to put some paint on him, I had to put a base on him, and then I've kind of like, I've almost got my hit of Thousand Suns and I've put him back to one side, but I will finish him off. But I actually really quite like him, and that's made me think I want Thousand Suns again. But yeah, so I thought I'd show you him. Pretty cool. Right, so what else have I got to show you? So I'll show you what I'm going to do for John's competition, for John Macleod's. So he is doing, you've got to basically do something to do with Beltane, which is his elder. Now I've done something previous because I did a erect revenant head from when I used to have a elder revenant titan that I got rid of a long time ago, but I had the spare head, so I used that as a base for my Tau Commander that you would have seen in the previous video, which is a Beltane theme. But I want to do something new for John's channel. I didn't want to just get that out and show everybody, because that would be a bit of a, you know, bit of a cop out. So I thought I would do like something new. So I kind of put out to the community to try and get some more elder bits for my wreckage bases. And actually, funny enough, John said, oh, I've got some jet bikes that, I think he's got new jet bikes now and stuff like that. So he had some old ones that he was quite happy to let me destroy. So that's what I've done. So I thought I would try and find a fitting project that would fit, and I'm going to do like my Shadow Sun type conversion-y stroke alternate model. So I don't know whether you've seen this before. I don't think I've put it in a video. Let's try and get her in focus. There we go. So it's kind of like a pin-up, a third-party company that was given to me. I'll put a link down below to where you can get hold of one of these. Pretty cool little model. So she's got like a little gun. She kind of holds it like that, but she's naked. But she's quite cool. You know, cool little funny character. You do get like a really epically cool base with it, which is this one here, which is a really cool little model. But I want to use her for my alternate Shadow Sun model. So even though that the gun's not 100% accurate, I think most people will be pretty happy if I put her on a base that's sort of that's feasible. I think it kind of fits the fluff to a degree. Well, I don't know about the fluff, but it fits in a gaming point of view. So obviously I'm not going to be able to use it for official Games Workshop competitions, but I'm happy about that, and I think in other competitions it will work out just fine. So I've got her, and whether I will end up using them or not for it, when I was also at Forge World, I bought myself a couple of these guys, so a couple of XV9 Battle Fusion Cascade models. So these are them here. I popped them together. So I've got this one in an epic pose. I love my epic poses. I don't care what anybody else says. I love them. So this one's kind of, you know, almost like kneeling forward. Cool. So I like that one. Really cool little weapons. These have got quite cool rules. They're quite expensive. Now I've kind of started to put them in lists. I'm not actually sure whether they're as good as what I first thought, because they do work out quite expensive points wise. They've got an awesome amount of potential, but you know, whether they're point for point as good as a normal fusion battlesuit, I'm not 100% sure. But we'll see. But I'm kind of like the thought, because they're like a fast attack type thing. I like the way they kind of factor with Shadow Sun, almost as like her bodyguards, because she's obviously got her 2 fusions. It fits in my mind, but I'm not too sure whether actually it synergizes so well game wise. These have to be so close. They probably work better with Farsight, and I just don't like. It doesn't sit right with me to put Farsight and Shadow Sun together. I might do it if the cheese part of my brain kicks in, but they don't work together really in my mind. So I've got, there's one, and find the other one. They've gone for more of a static kind of pose, but yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then for these guys, I've done them 3 bases. So these are just as they were. I mean, these will be re-sprayed up, primed, and then I'll paint them again, but I've just kind of chucked them on there, and I've used the texture Games Workshop paint to put some texture onto the base before I prime it all. So I've got that one, I've got that one, and I got this kind of flat type base, which is similar sort of size, which is going to work for my Shadow Sun. So she's going to kind of perch on the top of this jet bike, which I think is going to look quite effective. She's going to kind of sort of sit up there somehow like that. So I think that'll work, and they'll be. So that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully I'll get it done sort of soon, so you can kind of see it, so it fits in well with the competition. But as you know, my towel, I'm sort of taking my time with them, and they'll get done when they get done. The Barracuda comes first, so that will get totally finished, battle damaged and what have you, before I move on to these. But that's kind of that. What else do I need to tell you? That's probably actually it, to be fair. We've actually covered quite a lot in a relatively short time for me. The last thing that I want to do then before I go is do my comment bomb, the most important part of the update. So the comment bomb, I have an extra special comment bomb today. Comment bomb is for a new channel called Ready for Battle, and the reason why it's an extra special channel is because this guy is a Tyrannid channel. Well, I say it's a Tyrannid channel. His content at the moment is Tyrannid based, but there's even more of a special reason, and that is the fact that his content and his Tyrannids are High Fleet Voro. Yes, there's another YouTuber that's using High Fleet Voro colours, so well done. And I'm not going to take credit, because I don't even think he knew that I existed before. So I can't say it's inspired by my High Fleet, but I don't care. It's High Fleet Voro, which is fantastic. The guy's got some skills as well. They're beautifully painted models. It's more airbrushed than mine. It's but really cool. Love what he's doing so far, and I want to encourage you guys to support him, so I can see more beautifully painted High Fleet Voro coming out, because that's always a good thing, and I want to spread the High Fleet. So you know, again, this is even more important that this comment bomb needs to be something High Fleet Voro inspired comment, sarcastic, whatever it needs to be. But jump over on the video that I put down the link below and give Ready for Battle a comment bomb. So that's it for me today. Thanks everybody for watching this video. Thank you for all your support, guys. And until the next one, I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.